Welcome to my channel, Brainies. Today we are going to discuss about the topic Glasgow Coma Scale. Glasgow Coma Scale is one of the important scale in the assessment of higher mental functions. Glasgow Coma Scale was first published by Tidal and Jennett in the year 1974. This scale is used to describe the levels of consciousness of an individual. It is often used to detect the severity of an acute brain injury due to trauma or any other medical cause. The test is a very simple method, reliable, and it correlates well with the outcomes following brain injury. Let us just discuss about the Glasgow Coma Scale in detail. This GCS, which has been abbreviation form of the Glasgow Coma Scale, it is composed of three domains, which are assessed separately and given the numerical scores which can be correlated to detect the brain injury. The three domains are eye opening, verbal response, and motor response. The maximum score for each of the domain is, for eye opening it is 4, verbal response it is 5, motor response is 6. The minimum score for each of the domain for each of all the three domain is 1. Let us first discuss about the eye-opening response. Eye-opening response, the maximum score is 4. If the patient opens the eye spontaneously, it is being noted as 4. Response to verbal. When we utter anything, if the patient responds to the verbal response, then it is being noted as 3. If there is any response to pain, then it is noted as 2. If there is no response, then we mark it as 1. To simply remember about the eye opening, there's a mnemonics which can be correlated. So it is ESPN. There's a famous sports channel, as you all know. So it is spontaneously, eye opening spontaneously. So I put yes. So ESPN can be remembered as SSPN, it can be remembered as ESPN. So spontaneously it is yes. To verbal, that is to sound, it has been mentioned yes again. To pain, it is P, and to none, it is N. The next is a verbal response. The maximum score of the verbal response is 5. The order is oriented. The patient is fully oriented. We note the score as 5. If they are confused and disoriented, then we mark it as 4. If there is a response of inappropriate words, then we note it down as 3. If there is no meaning, if there are only sounds, no meaningful words, if there are only sounds, then we mark it as incomprehensible sounds. So we mark it as 2. And if there is no response, we mark it as 1. There's a better mnemonic to remember this verbal response. So it can be taken as voice, VOICE, voice. For oriented, we can take it as elegant, so E. Confused and disoriented, again I've taken it as C. Inappropriate words, I've taken it as I. Not to repeat the same I. So for sounds, I've made it as obscure. It is incomprehensible sound, so we can take the meaning as obscure, so I've taken the word O. For no response, it is voiceless, so it is being taken as V. So in the reverse form, it is VOICE. So this is a mnemonic for verbal response. The next domain of the Glasgow Coma scale is motor response. The maximum score of the motor response is 6, which includes first, if they obey the commands, it is being noted as 6. If they localize the pain, it is being noted as 5. If they immediately withdraw to the pain, it is being noted as 4. If they flex to pain, it has been noted as 3. That is, the posture is decorticate posture, abnormal flexion response. If they extend to pain, it has been noted as 2. This is known as the decerebrate posture, that is abnormal extension response. The last but not least, it is no response, which has been noted as 1. There's another mnemonic to remember this motor response. We can make it as old Ben. Obeys commands, I've taken O. Localizes pain, I've taken L. Withdraws to pain, that is, they draw away the limb, so it has been taken as D. Flexion to pain, that is, they bend, so it has been taken as B. And extension E. No response, I've taken as N. Together we can form a word as old Ben. This is a mnemonic to remember the motor response of GCS. The next is the scoring of GCS. The scoring of GCS is the Glasgow Coma scale. Eye opening, verbal response, and motor response. Eye opening, the maximum score is 4. Verbal response, the maximum score is 5. And motor response, the maximum score is 6. So if we calculate all the maximum scores, it is 4 plus 5 plus 6. The maximum is 15. So if the patient falls within the range of the scores 13 to 15, we take it as mild. If the score falls within the range of 9 to 12, we take it as moderate brain injury. If the score falls within the range of 3 to 8, it is considered as a very severe brain injury. So that's it with GCS. Thank you for watching. Kindly support by subscribing and sharing. Thank you.